welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Welcome to Paratruth.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fiestra, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms, Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth
it. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Author's Quill. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be listening to us on this big, beautiful blue planet we call Earth. You know, for my friends over there in Australia, hey, it's already late Sunday. I mean, y'all are just kind of chilling on a Sunday afternoon, just hanging out. You know, for my friends over there in England, what is it, about 9 p.m. right now over there? So, you know, guys, I always love knowing y'all, and I really do appreciate everyone who writes in and tells us they enjoy the show or lets us know where they're from. It's always nice to know how many countries our shows go out to. This one fluctuates between about 140 and 165 countries worldwide. Just depends on what John and I happen, or whatever the guests we may happen to have on that day may be doing. John got a new job, y'all. I didn't have to tell y'all about this. Emily wrote to me about this. He's got a job as a Chippendale now in California. So, you know, when I fly out to shit, I'm looking forward to this show. Philip, what do you mean? No, I just I haven't talked to him in a while. John and I, sometimes we get to talk a lot. Sometimes we don't. It's just, we have weird, strange schedules running around. And I mean, he's barely been home, 2 weeks now? Not even 2 weeks, huh? A little less than that.
Yeah, from Frankfurt.
He was over there in Frankfurt hanging out, partying with the German girls. And yes, he's married. Why do you think I'm teasing him? If he wasn't married, we'd be talking in secret. Hey, what was going on? Stuff like that. No, I'm teasing. Welcome everyone to the Author's Quill. I hope y'all really do having a good afternoon. We're gonna introduce Zaine just in a few seconds. I'll let John introduce him in a minute. But so John, it's quiet out there. It's nice out in LA now. Again, it's safe. I can come out. Nobody's gonna be burning up cars in the streets or nothing, right?
I don't know about that, but tonight's Game 7 of the World Series. So,
that's good.
LA's in Toronto, so Emily's definitely like banging hard that the Blue Jays win.
Oh man, you should videotape when she's watching. That's priceless, man. We could use that for blackmail in the future. I'm telling you.
Yeah, she's got her Canadian little flag on, and she's definitely outnumbered here because there's a lot of LA people here. But
yeah, I imagine there's a few.
She's a tough one.
Hey, man,
but anyway, so it's good, and we're getting ready. We're ramping out at the beginning of November. At the end of this month, we have the big Hollywood Christmas parade. So we're ramping up on that. we've been doing our meetings to gear up on who's going to be. We're going to finalize who's going to be the grand marshal and what type of celebs and get that all going. So we met with the owner of the parade, Emily and I, last week, and then I'm going to an event with him Monday night, and we're going to finalize discussion over who we want to be the grand marshal this year. So hopefully we'll have some, that all worked out this week and move forward with it. But anyway, it's good. Definitely all good there.
It's well, it's fun. Life's good, man. Well, mostly, I don't want to get into
potentially that. Good. We'll just
we'll leave that for a whole
now
other
in the fourth
day.
week of the shutdown. That's some people definitely.
Is that what's been going on? Really? What is it? 32 days now? I forget. No, I'm just teasing. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. We talked about it last night quite a bit because we host news on Friday nights, and it was. I gotta say, man, it was very, very divided last night. The people calling in, it was you either were yes or no kind of answers. Look, this one did it, that one did it. There's no hazy gray. It doesn't seem to be. Everybody pretty much has picked a side and has now settled in, and now both the political sides have settled in. So I don't know. This could be potentially seriously record breaking. And then you heard what the people from the union for the air traffic controllers said. If they paid SNAP and didn't pay them, they were going on strike. I don't even know what to think about this, man. I was like, holy moly, we're fixing. I have any plans on flying anytime. Usually I stay home this time of year, so it's good for me. But I know a lot of people fly this time of year. It's a rough, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to watch. And I'm not making fun. People are making play because it's horrible for a lot of people. And it's just, you have to kind of laugh because of the just sheer ignorance of what's going on. I don't know how else to even explain it. I don't care what side you're on, man. It's just pure ignorance all the way around here. I personally think there should be a rule passed after this one's over that anytime there's a shutdown, Congress does not get paid. Because I don't understand. The federal government doesn't get paid, but they get paid. How does that work? They're a federal government.
Yeah.
So that needs to change because they need to feel the pain if everybody else is going to feel the pain. But anyway,
we got Zaine Lodhi here, so we're going to feel some happiness and some joy here. So Zaine was the grand prize illustrator winner in, was it 39?
90. Yeah, I think it was 39. It was what was it, 2022? About
2022.
Like 3 years ago.
Yeah, so that was so he was there, and you were he was a graduate of Ringling School of Art and Design. That's what it is, right, in
Yes,
Florida. And I just met Christina Hess at there was an art fair this weekend in Pasadena, and she was there. And I had earlier interviewed, when I went out to see her professors, I saw James Martin and Dominic Avant, and they were a guest on the podcast. That'd be a couple of years ago, but it was great. I told her about you, that you're on there. So hopefully she responds and takes an opportunity to talk about the value and the importance of attending art school and what it can actually do for you. So anyway, so at the time, the last I knew about you, you were you had graduated, and I thought one of our judges had introduced you to somebody to start work stuff. So what's been your life since 2022?
It's been great. The one judge that I worked with a lot was Tom Wood. We worked together like a lot. Like he would contact me for a lot of projects, so we'd work together. It was great. I'm actually going to reach back out to him again soon just to see how he's doing. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
great guy. But yeah, since graduating, a lot of freelancing, and in about last year, I moved to Texas for about a year to work at a studio and do key art for games, and that was a blast. That was really, really awesome. And eventually, I got a different opportunity, and now I'm living in Florida again, and I work remote on a big game project that I can't talk about now, but when it releases, I can talk about.
Okay, well that's exciting, and so your career continues to like zoom up, and that's great.
That's always
Yeah,
good, man.
it was
It's
awesome.
always better when you're going up and not down, man. That's Zane, I'm trying to think, Zane. Why am I picturing your face in a balcony with me and Tom Wood and Larry?
Yeah, we were there. We were there drinking with Larry and
Elmore.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that the same Zane? Yeah, that's the Zane. I remember
Yeah,
Zane.
yeah.
It took a minute.
Yeah,
for
I got
some
the
reason.
$2 bill that I had
Like
signed by all the artists.
Yeah. Well, what
You
made
still
me
have
think
it?
about it was,
I do still have it. I still have the challenge coin
hey,
too.
Heidi.
I haven't been carrying the challenge coin on me though, because I'm worried about losing it. I don't want to lose that.
Yeah, I don't blame
Yeah.
you. Well, I don't blame
It's
you.
like one of the
man.
most valuable things I have.
Wait,
Gotta
what
keep that.
book were you in? It wasn't 39, was it?
This is the one with the mammoth on the cover. I think that was 39.
No, 39, I believe, was the one with Tom Wood's dragon. Yeah, because I got that one in my
Mm.
hand. Okay, so I
No,
got the
it's
wrong
been
one.
38.
Yeah, so
So
this
maybe
is
it's
this was
38
Tom.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, 38.
Yeah, no, I know because I got a bunch of them behind me. Oh, that's 38 right there. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. 38. Bob, can I have 38? Do you mind, dude? Bob is a little, he can get a little bitchy sometimes. I'm just saying, he's Halloween rule. Okay, man, I got stuff all over this place, y'all. These are all these are the backpack. These are my personal collection, but these are the ones. I tell artists to do it all the time, but it's easier with the authors for some reason. So everything back there is for sale somewhere.
You
Anything
you
new?
have 38.
There it
Okay,
is.
Yeah, I got 38 in my hand. Yeah, and you'll notice there'll be some of the writers of the future. These are just different authors who have either been part of Writers of the Future, authors I know myself, that are selling. So of course, here's this thing they call a book, this weapon called Battlefield Earth. That thing is like this, man. I mean, it's seriously thick. I was like, oh look, this thing still got the little stingies in it. Uh-oh,
So Zane's got he's got what was your story?
Oh, the Agatha's Monster, the one that I worked on. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the first one, isn't it? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
There y'all go. I'll have to put the other light on, get y'all a better shot of it, but that's it.
Yeah.
Well,
Can you pull up his website, Joe? So we can just
Oh, you know what? I probably can.
Your
Let me-
website is what, Zane?
It's Zaine LZAINEL.artstation.com.
Now, look, do me a favor, type it in the comments right there.
Okay.
And you can put it right in the. Whoops, what did I do there? Just stop touching buttons, man. I am fingered today. I just, I hate to say this mouse on this thing looks like the pumpkin I carved day before yesterday. I put a lot of nasty little Sharpie ass teeth all up and across the pumpkin's face, man. Yeah, I was in a mood. What can I say? What is this for?
Looks like StreamYard doesn't have or doesn't like to connect to my YouTube. It says we're having trouble connecting to your YouTube account.
Yeah. If you put it in, I'll just put it on. StreamYard usually let you connect anything. I mean, we're on YouTube right now. It's let me see. You can either put it in the regular comments or you can put it in the private chat. Either one of those.
Here we go. I put in the
I
chat
got
right there.
Yeah, there we go. I got you. Let's just open it a different link.
Yeah, so my website I've kind of overhauled. So pretty much everything that I had on it before has been moved to an older work tab. And then I have my main tab being the concept work that I've been working on. And then pretty much everything from that old work tab is from between 3 and 5 years ago. Because pretty much as soon as I got out of college and I finished with the competition, I was working in industry, so pretty much everything that I have is under NDA, and I can't send any of it out on my portfolio. So yeah, I've got like 3 years of work.
I can't show you anything, but I've got some amazing stuff here. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's there. It's somewhere there.
He's
It's like
teasing
pulling
you.
teeth. The studios have to I have to manually send like a client work portfolio that has the NDA stuff and is like, hey, you guys, I can't show any of this. Make sure that you sign this before I show you anything. And it's like, it's a whole ordeal. It hasn't stopped me from finding work. I found a lot of work,
which is great.
Well, once you get out there a little while, it's kind of how it is. Once you get out and start getting a little reputation, things kind of snowball.
When on this cover we had last year from Craig Elliott, this is one of his concept pieces for Treasure Planet, which wasn't used by Disney, so he was able to keep it, and he turned that into the cover for volume 41 last year. But that's just one of his sketches for Treasure Planet, which was NTA, and then it released when he's able to start doing it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you'll have the same thing at some point.
Yeah, eventually, yeah, when all that stuff comes out. But yeah, on my concept work, if you click on the concept page, like it's an entire like breakdown of the environment. Like if you actually click through the artwork, it's got like a whole floor layout. It's got a bunch of prop call outs. It's got a bunch of like set pieces and things that you use when you're developing a game, like player pathing and all that.
Yeah, Joe, do you want to go over to the first tab, concept?
Yeah, I'm going right there. I was actually over on anyway. Let's see, boop, click. There we are.
There. And then if you click on that first image, it'll pop up something huge. Basically, I did an entire like floor layout for this like underwater hunter's lodge area where they kind of like have there's like a mystic airlock that keeps all the water out, but it's basically an entire like society of people that have structured everything around like diving, where you're catching fish down there, you're mining for resources, you're finding like things to build houses and things. So diving's super important to these people. And if you scroll down, you can see like more stuff for this. Like there's a little explanation with the call outs of each room. And if you zoom in, you can see there's like posters on the wall. There's like specific like armor suits that have been made for like different types of divers. All of the beds have different things on them.
Well, that's cool.
Like there's a bunch of concepts for the thing. There's a kitchen concept. It's like a L-shaped grill oven, pizza oven combo.
Yeah,
a shelf in the middle.
Yeah, that looks cool. I'm looking at it right now. I don't know, is it not showing it to you? Let me just see. Yeah, it's showing it. I was just making sure it was on the screen because sometimes the stream can get a little weird.
And there's some totem pole concepts.
See, man, you can make a chessboard like this.
Yeah. And there's the diving suits.
Yeah, I got a friend of mine who's been doing this for 25 years. He does chessboards. That's all he does.
Oh, cool.
He makes unique chessboards too. They're all one of a kind. And I think to date he sold them 44,000 of them. It's he does a lot of them where people actually call him and ask him if they can make this, that, or the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
He did a Star Wars one, but he did it with Yoda and I forgot who the bad guy was they used.
All the concepts for everything.
So Zaine, all these concepts, this is a project that isn't happening or one that you're pitching or what?
Yeah, this is for a personal project, just something that I did for fun on the side, like in between jobs. Like basically, if there's any time where I wasn't freelancing, I just take some time off and then work on my own thing just to increase my marketability as a concept artist, because I have a lot of experience and work in illustration, but not much in concept. So I was like, all right, well, let's start doing some concept. And I worked with some people and got some art director feedback and stuff. And I started flexing my concept skills and trying to practice that skill.
Hey man, this guy looks hungry right here, man. You need to feed this dude.
Have you been in touch at all with Craig Elliott? Do you know him?
No, I don't think I was able to meet him. Was he there my year?
No, not the year you were there. He wasn't.
I know he had some stuff with all the COVID stuff. It was a real problem for him, but he's been here the last couple of years. Maybe if you're, because that's what he does for Disney and for Netflix and all these. He does amazing concept artwork for a lot of these movies, the animated movies. He's like brilliant. So if you'd like, I'll try to do an introduction. Just put you guys both in touch with each other.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, I would appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
This guy looks like one of the crabs I catch in my backyard, man.
Yeah. He's like a big diving suit that's made out of giant crab parts. Like they kill a giant crab and they turn them into armor. Because they're a little bit buoyant, so maybe you can. You know how diving suits, they have a pressure valve that attaches to the front of them where you can adjust it. I'm imagining you can attach it somewhere in the crab and make the crab more buoyant so you can float up in that big giant suit of armor versus like a big piece of metal where you just sink to the bottom. If you got a crab shell on, I mean, they're meant to float. They float.
Wow.
You got a lot of detail in here, man.
That's amazing.
I mean, there's a lot of detail up in there.
And this is just your off time.
Yeah. Well, it's always fun to make work on your off time. Like if you enjoy what you're doing, it's not really work.
No, I understand totally what you're saying. So does Joe. It's like we're both, you know, others could call us workaholics, but I just love what I do, and so does Joe. And obviously, what so do you?
Yeah. You're much happier, even when times get slow. You're just happy you're doing what you want to do. It's better. You know, because I get, you know, radio and TV offers me a lot of things I didn't have before. But when I was just doing construction, I love doing construction, and I used to catch a lot of flack for it because I got a bachelor's in advanced science, and they're like, Joe, why are you doing construction? I said, one, it pays really well, and two, I really enjoy building stuff. It was, you know what, Zane, it was one of those things totally by accident I stumbled into, and I realized I really liked it. And so I did that for a long time. And then when I got into radio and TV, I got radio 30 years ago, TV probably only about 10 now, 5 hardcore, where like right now we're on Roku television. So, and actually today we're on Roku television and Amazon Fire Stick. So y'all out there watching us on Amazon, how you doing? Or, you know, if you're on Rumble watching us, how y'all doing out there? I hope everybody's enjoying your reviews. You know, Roku, guys, you know, is even you can get us up to 8K in Roku. Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. I don't know why you want to see us in 8K. But hey,
I don't know either.
You can see
unless
what color
see
my
it on the
whiskers
side
are.
of Times Square.
You know, I'm just, you know, it gets, at some point it gets ridiculous. I mean, it's too much. No, Zane's married with like 14 kids, I think he said, or 15. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
16,
a lot.
actually.
Yes, yeah, see, it was a lot, man. It was a lot of kids. I remember it was a lot. He was like doing 3 at a time and stuff, man. That's definitely what he means. What are you just looking for a husband or some chick? I mean, because you like the last 9 people guests we've had, you've asked if they were married. I'm just curious. Okay. No particular reason. All right, I believe you. Mm-hmm. Sure. She's looking for a husband, y'all. But watch out, people. Run while the running's good. So I mean, it's a game is always fascinating me because I know a couple of companies that have been looking for people, concept artists, general illustrators. I mean, because there's any kind of decent game is going to have a ton of illustrator work in it. It's all kind of storyboards have to be done. I mean, there's just so much that goes on in them. Because a friend of mine was all worried he was going to lose his job with this gaming company down. He makes $130 a year with him. He got all nervous because of AI, and then he realized his boss said, "Oh no, we're going to use AI." He said, "But we're not getting rid of any of our people." No. He says somebody got to run roughshod over the AI because AI is it's still kind of squirrely, believe it or not. It does weird things sometimes.
Yeah.
It adds in things it shouldn't. Write stuff, it's kind of weird. And I noticed, and ChatGPT, don't try to destroy my computer or any of you other fancy AIs out there, okay? But really, right now, they're about 50% accurate when you ask them a question. Amazon signed me up for this Alexa program because Alexa's about 44% right. That means she's 56% wrong. Siri's the same way. So, and they're all being connected to AIs now because now my Alexa wants to have conversations with you when you ask her a question. You're like, what? My wife said, should I be jealous? I mean, it's really weird. I mean, it's kind of strange, but the problem is she gets a lot of things wrong. What they do is sometimes is they're pulling from the internet. And they just pull whatever the primary link is. Well, sometimes the link at the top is not the one that's right because it's the one being paid for. So a lot of times it's, BS. But anyway, I mean, for Zaine, all this has got to be, there's so much coming up. I know I was listening to some and I was listening, I listen to EU news and actually several overseas news, but they were talking about they need illustrators, and China is actually trying to recruit illustrators out of the EU right now, because for some reason you'd think with a country with 1.4 billion people you wouldn't need to recruit, but obviously they do. So they're offering top pay, top benefits, and somehow you get out of having to pay income tax while you're in China. So I know one of my friends over, he's making $250,000 a year. He's on a lecture tour though, so he works 3 days. He works 3 days a week, off 4 days a week. And they give him his own apartment, whole 9 yards, and they give him a good salary. Hell, they even feed him. So it's kind of crazy how people. And then I noticed the other day, it was Brazil, Argentina, and Rio de Janeiro were putting out things for artists and authors and illustrators to come down there and work for gaming companies that have moved down there because of cheaper labor. I was like, but see, the problem is they have, if you're going to bring an American down there, then you got to pay double top dollar. Why leave a country where you can make big money to go to a country where if you're going to drag yourself down there, you have to at least double your pay plus benefits. So I've been seeing a lot of it. It's strange the way the market, in all fairness, the market has getting more globalized, but still, it's strange. But for y'all, people like you, there's a lot of good places out there. I mean, all you got to do is look at Tom Wood. He's all over the damn place. It's when I start doing research on him, he's all over the place.
Yeah. So Zaine, what about you now? What's your take on AI art?
I don't particularly enjoy it. I like the artistry that goes into art, so the craft is very important to me.
Yeah.
So I could see it being used for certain things, and the generative AI in Photoshop is actually very good for correcting areas. So I think there's a definite use case for it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just me in particular, I don't like to make entire pieces based off of AI, or I don't like I've used it as a starting point for some clients that really want it. Like they use it and they're like, hey, can you make something based off of this? And usually I'll just do it from the ground up based on what they send me, but I've never used it to make art, just to spot correct areas if I need to.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong,
we had to put a rule into the both contests, writer and illustrator, no AI art or no AI stories, because we want to see and discover people like yourself who can move the industry forward. Once you start getting into AI generative art, it's no longer moving forward. Someone that thinks that it is, it isn't, because all it's doing is scraping what's already there and just trying to regurgitate it different ways.
Exactly.
But and AI, unfortunately, can be sloppy. I still I've been doing now for about 2 years now. I've been doing investigation work for different people for if something's real or something's not. Sooner or later, Congress is going to pass a bill saying that if it's generated by AI, it has to have an AI mark. That's coming. But until such a time, right now, look at the president's videos he was doing of Chuck Schumer. If he wouldn't have put the sombrero on there, you wouldn't have known if that was real or not. You would have just thought Chuck lost his mind or something. It's so there has to come a point where it is, but there's still ways to tell when it's AI and when it's not. There's little subtle things. It used to be a lot easier because AI had a tendency to stretch out hands and stretch out feet and do weird things with ears and nose. But now they've gotten a little better. But there's still other ways, like certain things that goes on with fingernails and stuff. It's just little things that AI hasn't figured out how to control yet. And give it time. It'll figure all that out. That's why it's going to have to be watermarked or something saying it's AI. Because really, there will come a point where you won't be able to tell the difference. But the problem with AI really is what you were just alluding to, Zaine. There is no real creativity in AI. It's your creativity. AI is not the one. AI relies on you to put down a paragraph of what you want, or 2 or 3 paragraphs, and then AI creates it. And if you ask AI just to create something, it can. But I noticed if you ask AI, just write me a book, the beginning starts out pretty good, and the ending a lot of times will be good, but the middle will be jibber jabber. Literally. You can't even read it because you're kind of, what the hell is this? And I've noticed that if you ask them to create original art, a lot of times it's just, you can look at it and tell it's concepts of other people's art shove together with somebody else's art. It's so, and until it can really become truly creative on its own, it's not really truly AI, is it?
Yeah, and I think creativity comes from experience, like
Yeah.
lived experiences, like things
I
that you've
agree.
seen in your life, things you've experienced, people you've met, everything. Like it's an amalgamation of everything you as a human being have gone through. So I think it's important to keep the soul of the artist, and AI kind of squashes the soul. It's basically like, hey, this is everybody else's experiences, but I don't know what to do with it. I'm just going to make like a pretty picture, and I'm not a huge fan of that.
See, AI was not designed to be a creator. It was designed to be a mobilizer. So for people like you who are very gifted, so you can do something and then have AI mass produce it. Like in the old days, we'd have just used a copying machine or something along those lines. But now you can do it in a different way and in a faster and actually better way. But asking AI to look at your picture, you'd have to put it into the system so it can break it down if you wanted to do it right. But that's about all it's good for, and it's good for running like your phones and other stuff like that. But it's got a lot to learn. It'll be 100 years before it's the AI that we see on Star Trek. Hey, I got faith. But you know what? You seen the other day, right? Y'all didn't see this. Did you have to tell y'all about this? So we featured this in last night's show. So they got an AI robot, right? They made this AI robot in Japan. It's a cool little robot. So the guy started beating on him with a stick. Well, guess what? The freaking AI started fighting back. I was like, well, wait a minute now. You can't just beat me up. It was kind of funny and kind of scary at the same time. This makes me think of some of them old sci-fi movies where AI takes over the planet. Man, I'm like, I'm not liking this. And you know when
Makes you
they
think of
first,
Blade Runner with replicants and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's gonna get weird. It's all I can say. Hey, that's good for artists. The weirder it gets, the more concepts there are out there. I mean, it's nuts. I get crazy, but what's that, Gene? What are you talking about, Gene? So Gene is from Illinois. What part of Illinois? You're not going to say how because you're from Chicago. I know. You're embarrassed to say you're from Chicago. I got a lot of friends in Chicago. I got a lot of friends that live outside of Chicago too. So what do you mean? What is concept art? I would think.
So go ahead, Zane, go ahead and explain what concept art is.
Sure, yeah. Basically, it's just art that is used to kind of, I guess if I just kept saying to make a concept like evident, that wouldn't tell you anything. But it's basically art that's pre-finish. It's all the stuff you need to bring the pipeline forward to make 3D models for your movie or your game. It's the stuff you need to make sure that, the tone of something is correct. It's all like the stuff before the really pretty pictures. It's laying the groundwork. It's making sure your ideas are made manifest. Concept is a big iterative process where you make as much content as possible so that something sticks and your art director moves forward and stuff actually gets made. Because without concepts, you have a lot of ideas that haven't been fully realized or like taken to their maximum potential. So concept is just to make sure that whatever ideas you put out, whatever you put out in a movie, a game, anything is actually thought out and realized and not, just the first thing that comes to your mind.
Yeah, I've seen some of the stuff that Craig Elliott's done. When he does his concept, he's got sometimes there's dozens of different iterations for a scene or for a house or for even how's this wall going to look? How's this roof going to, I mean, it's just amazing the kind of detail you get into, especially with, the major houses, because when it's shown on a huge screen, how's a wall going to look so it looks like a wall? What kind of texture does it have? And so he'll go through and all these different iterations of texture and floor. And it's just amazing just seeing what goes into concept.
Yeah, and it's a very like diverse set of skills because you need to know a lot about how things work in real life. Like, what does the grout look like? What do the wooden slats on the roof look like? How do they connect? What's the transition material between the ground and the wall? Like there's a lot of things that go from just observing things in real life and understanding how things are constructed in order to make like a concept.
Yeah, we've come so far since Walt Disney's Mickey Mouse and Pluto and Chilly Willy and all those things there, where you just have a circle and there's the sun, and here's a little box and there's the house. It's like it's so not that anymore, and just the detail that goes into to create that, what we're used to right now, because for better or for worse, imagination has been replaced by Zaine Lodhi. You know, you're the one, and people like you that take the imagination to the nth degree to create these worlds that when I grew up is like, you know, you have this palace. So I knew what a palace looked like, but it was my palace, you know, and now Disney gives you the exact palace to the grout, you know, detail, you know, and so that's the new thing, which it's good that you've got the imagination. And I don't watch that much TV or movies at all. So for me, I read a book a week because of the podcast. So my imagination is fine. I know exactly what the girl looks like, what the guy looks like with the sword, the knife, all these things. But when you get into the movies, it's like it's now so well defined. But that's what the concept artist does, and people respect the concept artists that really can get into that fine detail. And what Craig was saying too, you got a whole team of concept artists, because some guys can specialize in structure, some specialize in nature, some specialize in horizon. It's like all kinds of different specializations that you do, and he's the lead, so he runs all these people to make the various concepts and make them so they come together.
Man, Zaine needs to eat when he's drawing. Some of these things just look hungry, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send Zaine a pecan pie, man. I'm sorry, while y'all talking, I've just been scrolling through, but so a couple of them looked hungry. I was like,
yeah, he's hungry. That guy there's definitely hungry.
He definitely looks hungry, man. What? No, Jesse, I'm teasing Zaine. Why? I'm making you hungry? No, last night y'all were making me hungry though with all that food talk. Lord have mercy. This guy over here on the right, it looks like something out of one of them Star Wars movies. Yeah, because that's kind of how a concept Star Wars does sometimes.
Well, how do your concepts materialize? Like, how do you come up? Like, do you go for walks and all of a sudden you see something and then it just takes off in your mind, or how does that work for you?
A lot of the time, it comes down to the brief that an art director sends to me, or a brief that I make up in my head where I need to solve a certain problem. And I guess I kind of have to go into like my memory vault. I got to walk in and see like, what have I seen that would help solve this problem? Like, what have I seen during my life? And if I can't find anything, I have a lot of books. I have a lot of books on like architecture, on fashion history, modern and ancient, all that sort of stuff, just in case, because just looking on the internet for stuff, everything's been like vetted and it's been filtered through, and you don't have like the same level of photography, or you don't know what you don't know, so you're not going to find unexpected things. So I like to own a lot of books on a lot of things, and that kind of helps me to help materialize a concept, just to get something going. And then, like you said, sometimes you'll just go on a walk or something, or you'll be at the gym and you'll be like, oh, hey, wait a second, that might be a cool concept. Or you'll just see something on the road, or you go to a museum.
Yeah, it's interesting. Dan Dos Santos, you met him, or do you know him?
I haven't met him, but I've heard about him and I've seen his work. I love his work.
Yeah, he's amazing. And we met him originally at Dragon Con. He came up to our booth and he saw Emily's boots, and he was taking pictures of her boots. And he introduced and said, yeah, I love your boots. And so she said, well, who are you? So I'm Dan Dos Santos. She said, yeah, right. Because she knew he was as a famous artist. Said, yeah, you're not Dan Dos Santos. She said, no, I really am. And he said, no, you're not. And so he took her over, showed him, and said, oh, wow, you really are. But they met her because he was coming around with his camera taking pictures of his book, because he's just constantly aggregating content. He's getting all these different reference shots for how to do different things. He's like amazing on the references that he'll accumulate to be able to do the art that he does, to get the angles and to get the shadow and all these different things that make his art so amazingly, just stunning. He said that's the big part what he does, and he'll actually make the models 3D wise, and then he'll paint that. He'll use that for his painting, so he can get the right. How does the light hit it, and how does how does it look different ways? And he'll move it around until he gets okay. There we go. Then he gets the exact thing that he wants. It's amazing when you get to that level of artistry, what an artist will actually do to get a product.
So this is the guy that was in book. What was it? Book 40? Is that what it was? 40?
38.
38.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Agatha's Monster.
Yeah.
And that's the one. That was the one that won the grand prize.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious.
He looks hungry too.
What's that?
He looks hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all
I
look
got a
hungry.
theme for Zaine now. We have to do a hunger theme, man.
Yeah. So it's been a few years. So what do you remember most from your week in Hollywood?
I think one of the core memories for me was I remember there was a presentation. I forgot whose presentation it was, but I missed about half of it because right after Larry Elmore's presentation, I walked up to him and I said, "Let's go get lunch." And I went out to get lunch with Larry and Tom, and they had to go wrangle me back. So that was a great memory because Larry Elmore was so cool. He was just such a fun fella. Has he been around lately?
No, he's been doing Zoom sessions. We're hoping to get him back this year. He's just, I'm old and I just want to do my painting. I don't care about it. I just want to paint.
I know he's a blast to talk to. It hasn't been that long since he's been on the show though, a couple of months.
Yeah.
He's definitely fun. He's always fun to talk to. I always love talking to him.
He's such an amazing history too as an artist. His just such amazingly humble beginnings that he has. Just as a poor kid out there in Kentucky with he had a pencil that he'd sharpen with a knife, and then he had his mom's boxes, grocery boxes, they cut up, and each one of those little sections was a piece of paper he used to do his sketches with, and he'd do both sides, and then wait till the next week to get another box to be able to, that was his next paper. It was amazing what how he started.
Yeah, he ended up being one of the most iconic fantasy illustrators of his time.
Oh yeah. He's phenomenal. So this jest is a little bit on the sick side here, isn't he, Zaine? I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's a 3D model that I textured, I think 3-4 years ago, something like that. But
guy looks a little bit on the peed side, man. Well, you can't see his face, people, but I mean, you don't see the sword sticking out for his nose. Gonna give you a break here. He doesn't look like he's real happy. I'm just saying, it's just an observation. Wait, what we got here? Well, what is this?
Do you do that quite a bit, Zaine, doing 3D models before you do the paintings or before you do the artwork?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, it helps a lot. It's like taking a photograph, kind of. It just helps you figure out lighting. It helps you figure out camera angle, the camera focal length. It helps you figure out the relationships of objects to one another. You pretty much solve your perspective almost instantly by doing it in 3D. And then I just draw over it, and I pretty much redraw the entire scene, but I have all the perspective, the camera angle, the lighting solved to a degree, and then I just have to do the artistic stuff on top.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's this, were you were given a copy of this book when you were in LA?
Yes, I was. I have.
Yeah,
that.
there's one of the essays that's in here is called Artistic Presentation, and this one here, Owen Hubbard goes on to say. But first and foremost, realize that in presenting something and trying to put up mock-ups, that the best way isn't always the easy way. The best way is only the more effective way. Work out first what effect you're trying to produce. Then when you've got that all taped, only then consider the easiest way to do it, and never consider the easier way at all if it's less effective. Art takes that extra bit, that extra care, that bit more push for it to be effective art. There's no totally easy way to produce a desirable effect. And the day you drop some of your ideas of the effect you want to produce is the day you're a little older, a little weaker, a little less sane. So don't buy the easy way, buy only the effective way. If some of its points can then be made easy, good. If not, do it the hard way. And only if you realize this can you escape the gargantuan trap of a society with the mass goal of nothing should ever be done by anything but a machine or somebody else. So, when I look at what you got there, that's, your work, Craig Elliott, Dan Dos Santos, and our judges, it's like, you guys don't scrimp on the shrimp. You're like, you're going to do what's needed to actually get a proper product. And that's something that anybody that considers that AI is a viable solution is not an artist. They're never going to make it to the level that folks like yourself are going to achieve, because they don't know what it really takes to create art. I mean, the key word is create.
Yeah. And there's
Well,
no
I'm not letting-
longevity to the career because it's something that it's like, well, you can have it instantly. There's no gratification. There's instant gratification, but that can only keep you going so far. You're not making art. You're not struggling. You don't have any strife in your life. Like, there's nothing that's driving you to keep making this. So once it's done with, and there's no more interest. Yeah,
it's like, I mean, Joe loves oil paintings, but
I do.
So now do you do oil at all, or are you just strictly now onto the digital where you do stuff on the computer?
Personally, I do oil for myself. I love oil painting. It's my favorite medium.
Yeah. It's my favorite. I can tell you that. I don't know when, where, why, or how. Somewhere in the past, I don't know. Maybe it was the texture of it. Maybe it was from when I was in private school. I mean, we used to go to a lot of art galleries. I don't know. It's just something about it to me. The painting just feels more alive to me. I guess it's the only way I can really describe it. It's and don't get me wrong, I'm not against digital art. I mean, I there's a lot of great talent out there, and people send me stuff that are on my walls and stuff, and I don't really have a problem with any of that. I mean, that thing, you can't see it right now, but there's a big map behind me back there. It's I mean, all that stuff's great, and I even like, one of the other things I like about oil is you can put them in fancy frames. Well, you can put them in any kind of frame you want, really, but it's I like it's nice to have. It's over the years, I've managed to get my hands on some pretty good artwork, and
I know some of our judges like doing. They prefer art and doing art with like oil or pastels and the more traditional methods. But when they do commission work, they like doing computer, because all of a sudden, you're whoever's the art director or whoever's commissioning you says, can you make that red instead of blue? And then just bling. Okay, there you go. It's red. Can you make her face the other way? Bling. Okay, she's facing the other way, which is an advantage to computer generated. It's not computer rated. It's not CGI, but it's being able to use a computer to make these changes when your client is, changing their mind, and it's for, a model that they need for their business. They're not looking at, this is I'm painting old dowagers to put over a windowsill, or put over a fireplace sill. This is, so they distinguish when they do their personal stuff. Then they like doing just, here's the painting, and when they have to do stuff that's commissioned for that type of stuff, for like, I need something for the next Wrigley spearmint gum. They'll do the computer, so when they change their mind, they can go, okay, good, here you go, because they got the tough deadlines. Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely in favor of digital for client work. Just like you said, the ability to iterate easily, that's so valuable. Whereas with a oil painting, as much as I love the medium and I love doing it for myself, having to flip a head means having to repaint the entire head entirely, or bring it into digital and flip it there and then do paint over on top. And that's just, it's a little weird. But yeah, I think for personal work, like, do whatever medium you want, but for client work, unless your client really, really trusts your decisions and is super like lenient with revisions, I would say just go for digital. it saves you so much time and money at the same time.
Yeah. Do you put a thing in your contracts where you only give like 2 revisions once they've agreed upon the specs?
Yeah, absolutely. Unless they do a day rate. Some companies like to do day rates, some like per project. But yeah, for per project, I definitely put in stop gaps to make sure that, this project isn't being dragged on, because a 2-week project could turn into a 2-month project if they want to keep increasing the scale, because like, oh, well, we already paid you, so we're going to keep upping the
Oh
scale.
God, yeah, I've run across that many times over the years.
Yeah.
It's
So do you put a thing in, okay, you're allowed 2 revisions, and anything above that's going to cost you $500 revision type thing, or?
Exactly. It basically, I'll have to go into a meeting with them and I'll say, all right, let's talk about this. What do you want going forward? I'll give them a time estimate, and based on the time estimate, I'll do a value assessment of how much it's going to cost. And I'm like, this is how much extra these revisions are going to cost you. And then from there, we'll move forward and you can decide whether you want to stick with these or we want to revise further and drag on the project and pay for more revisions.
Does that happen very often?
Not often, no. Surprisingly, I usually get it after the first or second revision. It's usually completely fine, because early on in the process, I ask as many questions as possible. Earlier on in my career, I didn't ask enough questions, and I ended up having that thing happen to me a lot with the revisions. But as I got later on, I started realizing, it's important to ask everything, even the dumb questions. It's important to ask.
Yeah,
It's important. It's so important to make sure that you don't retread any ground in the future. So I stay in contact throughout the entire process. Like every time I reach like a milestone sort of progress point, I'll send my stuff in. I'll say, this is where I'm at right now. I'm going to pause work on this. Let me know what you think about it. And then from there, we figure out what we need to do from that point in the process. So it saves me time versus having a full painting where it's like, oh, the drawing needs to change. Once you're done with the painting, changing the drawing is a nightmare. So yeah, it's just a matter of catching everything early on, so I don't have to worry too much about it.
Yeah. I'm curious, when you win the grand prize, did you suspect that you're going to be the grand prize winner?
No, and I didn't write a speech because of it. And I know you told me to write a speech, and I was like, oh, I should have listened to John. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know. There's with every artist, there's a bit of like imposter syndrome where it's like, oh, am I good enough? Would it be kind of presumptuous of me to write a speech? But no, I should have written that speech, and it was like I was sweating so bad on the stage when the second speech came.
You can kind of ad lib the second one, but when John and I, the shows get into a lot of different contests, and once you hit a certain point, win, lose, or draw, you still have to write an acceptance speech. Matter of fact, if you don't write it and send it in to them, they won't even put you in for the prize. It's it's one of them things you just have to do. You never know. You never know when you're gonna win. You just never know. There's been times I've won stuff and I'm like, really? And what kind of drugs have y'all been smoking? It's hey, when you win, you win. Anytime the station wins, I'm exhilarated. But winning for me is great. But when the station wins, I'm way happy. Like we won best local broadcaster for 3 years. We skipped a year. We won 2 years. Missed last year, but we won this year. We just found out we won this year. So actually, it's 4 years. So we won 3, we missed one, and won the 4th. And then
congratulations.
And we've been up for national broadcaster nationwide for a long time. Our problem is not that we can't compete. It's just we don't compete. So most people put up one show. We're putting up. Currently, we have 40 live shows. So anytime we put up, we're putting up 40 shows. The network owns 103 shows is what we own all together. It's a lot of material in the last 30 years. That's a lot of stuff you can listen to. It's great. And Gene, for what you just asked me about, you'd have to be a member to see that. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, anything that's X amount of old goes into the membership thing. If not, our archives get out of control. They just get huge. I see we got somebody hiding down there in the bottom of the screen down there. Look, she's like hiding out down there. Let's see who this is right quick.
We got Nicole.
Hi.
Hey, Nicole. We see Nicole Kilroy. We need to move your camera down.
I'll stand up. How about that? It's like I have a standing desk.
Oh,
Is that better?
yes.
Okay.
It's a bit better. So now at least we see you're like, here we are.
Okay. That's the problem with being short. I can either get things really high or like I have to stand up.
No, that's just how it gets sometimes. Life gets a little weird.
Yeah. She's short, but she's a powerhouse and a half. So there we go.
Dynamite comes in small packages.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Have you ever met? Were you guys the same year? You and Zaine?
I'm 38.
So. Oh yeah, I was 38.
Yeah, we were there.
Oh, we were.
Yeah.
Oh, what the heck? That's awesome.
Yeah, you guys became best friends back then, and it's, inseparable.
It's too busy to read.
It's like all of the illustrators, we went and went our own little group, and then all the writers were in the writers group, and we just kind of ran off.
Yeah,
and
the writers all went to the bar.
Well,
that's the illustrators all went to the bar, but anyway,
so did the illustrators.
It was the
illustrators went to the club.
Yeah. And then we'd come in the next morning, and you guys would have decorated our area with some sort of artistic sculpture.
It's it's always a lot of fun. There's so many people to meet and so many people to keep up with when you're there, and it's and there is some crossover between the artists and the illustrators, but not a lot. I mean, because everybody's there to learn something. That's what they're there for, or to get a job, one or the other. I know there's a lot of people hustling jobs. That's always a good sign.
Now I'll do an intro to Nicole here because she was the winner with is it the mystical Farrago?
Yeah.
Good. So that's like a traveling circus type thing. And so she was a winner there in volume 38, and Zaine was a illustrator winner in volume 38. And Nicole, I see her pretty regularly every year at Superstars. And now one thing I'm curious about, because you're both year 38, so one of our most fun events to put on is the big reveal. So now that we have two different perspectives of the same event, so just for people that don't know, the big reveal is one of the events that happens. That's a workshop week where we set up all the art on easels in a big room. The illustrators that created the art are all around the side of the room, and then we open the door and we let the authors come in, and they have to go around and find their art. And as soon as they find it, they stand by it. Then the illustrator comes out and introduces himself. And it usually results in amazing relationships that go on for quite some time. So from each of your perspective, what was that event like for you? So I'll go for Nicole first because she's a girl and girls go first.
It was really cool, actually. I kind of wandered through first because I wasn't sure exactly. It's hard to imagine what somebody else sees in your story or what was going to be focused on. So I wasn't even sure what scene I was looking for. And so I walked by it, I paused and I looked at it for a long time. And then I was like, I wasn't sure. So I walked through because what Anna had done is she had taken a lot of different elements and created not just a scene, but she kind of encapsulated the entire story in what she'd drawn. So it was, it's right there, actually. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Just so she did a beautiful job. And once I realized, I'm like, no, that is my character. So yeah, that was really, really exciting.
Good. And then Zaine, for yourself?
Yeah. Immediately, I was a little looking around, head on a swivel, trying to find my author. But it seemed like she immediately knew where I was and kind of zoned in on me like a heat-seeking missile. So she immediately found my art, and it was fantastic. It was so great hearing how happy she was with how it turned out, and we gave hugs, and it was really, really sweet. It was good. It felt amazing seeing another creative really enjoy what you made and talk to you face to face about it.
Yeah, and so I know for a writer, it's very rare that they'll actually get that quality of a piece of art for their work. You can get a cover that you can get, but it isn't necessarily the same thing.
Is that the one or am I in the wrong one?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, this one over here, right?
Yeah.
So
that's it. Anna Lee Wu.
So it's that's one of the things the judges say. They'll say, okay, just enjoy this while you can, guys, because it's not going to happen in your next story, your next book.
Yeah, and I mean, technically, they got it for free, the authors. So lucky that, because that's expensive. Those covers.
Yeah. So getting that art there for, I mean, what we do with, and it's fortunate too with us, with the judges, we get good discounts because they're judges for the contest. But it's worked out pretty good now since we started making trade paperbacks, so that we have the judge comes up with a piece of art, and then we get another judge to create a story based on that art. So it's just the opposite of what you have, where you're given a winning story to illustrate, the writer is giving a cover to write a story for. So this year we're going to have Cirello did the cover for volume 42, and Orson Scott Card wrote the story for it. So that'll be published next year in 42. So that'll be pretty. It's pretty good. It's a great story. It's a beautiful piece of cover art, which Cirello is just an amazing artist. So so now, Nicole, we did a podcast interview on a book not that long ago. So now, how's that series going, or how's that going along for you?
So I turned in book 2 to my publisher. We did one round, a very intense round of developmental edits. So she got the second version back. I think the end of September is when I sent it off to her. So I'm just waiting to get back that again. And in the meantime, I'm working on a horror story and then also a fairy tale retelling, because I can't stick to one thing.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good to have multiple things going. How did your first book do, or how is it doing?
I honestly don't know. I know the reviews on Goodreads are great. I tend to not get involved in the sales. I let my publisher handle all of that. I don't want to know.
Okay.
And I only count the reviews instead of reading them because I can't take it. So like that whole imposter syndrome thing. Yes.
Yeah. I just started a Goodreads page and a Facebook page for the podcast. So I'm catching up now. I sent an invitation to you to follow it, but your book will be coming up now that we're talking. I'll pull yours up sooner because I've got 250 episodes. That's a lot of books I have to go back on now. But I'll get yours in there with a review, and then I put the link to the podcast on the Goodreads page so people can do it, and it just continues to grow. So it's growing pretty fast right now.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give something so that people can have a place to see their book and get other people to find out about it. And as the page grows, you'll actually have a lot more ability to generate interest to other readers about your books. So I'm looking forward to that actually paying off. That's really cool. I just have a 6-year backlog I'm catching up on now.
No problem.
I thought about. I said, if I don't get started, it's never going to happen. So I just did it when I started it when I came back from Frankfurt. It's like, okay, look at I'm just staying home for a little bit, just like to flip over my schedule from the other side of the world. And so I just started creating this thing here, and like, okay, good. Now I got this shelves full of books that I've been given for, the years. And then I've got my Kindle, which has another, 100 books in there. So I'll gradually just get through it all and get these all posted up there.
And you saw, I think you saw Rebecca Treasure when you were in Germany, didn't you?
Yeah.
She's also volume 38.
Yeah. So, it was great seeing her. I said I was going there, and she said, "Are you going to be there?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to be there." So I said, "Great." So we set up and had the lunch there. It was great seeing her again, and it was a lot of fun. So I just, when I did one post saying, for all of you that are jealous,
I was jealous. I admit.
Yeah. It was great spending some time with her there. And she's loving it there because it's a great environment where she is for her kids. Mm-hmm. And so that's good there. And then when they retire, they're still looking at staying out there because it's just, they like the environment and where it's not so crazy and stuff, with the education system, she says, a bit better there for their kids, which is good. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so we've been on here with Zaine, and he's like, he's just been going crazy successful with his career as a concept artist, working with all these things you can't talk about.
I can mention a few companies. I mean, I worked at a really, really awesome key art studio called Picture Plane Imaging. And when I was there, I got to do a bunch of key art for Sega, Sony, Techland, Remedy, Square Enix, like a bunch of big companies, like AAA games I got to work on. So it was really cool. But
Wow.
yeah, I can't show everything because I'm
they
under
get
NDA.
upset of it. They get upset about that kind of stuff. Yeah,
But hey, if you're an employer and you're connecting me or connecting to me, I can show you some stuff. You just have to sign something first.
Yeah.
Yes. Please,
That's amazing.
please. Yes. Well.
So
companies want
are
to
either
protect
of you
their rights.
traveling much anymore yet this year?
Pardon?
Are either of you traveling anymore yet this year?
Not anymore this year.
Are you, Zane?
We'll see. I might start going to some different states to visit some friends now that I've got a little bit of free time. But it's probably no crazy traveling. I remember last time when we went to Dragon Con, it was really awesome being there at the booth. It was super cool. I got to introduce my girlfriend to everyone and see the convention in a whole new light because I'd gone to Dragon Con quite a bit before that. Like I went as just like a fan, just somebody that goes for fun. But being there like as a VIP was really cool. And showing the books and stuff and signing things, that was awesome.
Yeah. And if you're interested, because we have about, I don't know, probably 8 of our winners with booths now at Dragon Con because it's so well respected as a contest with the Illustrators of the Future and Writers of the Future that if you're interested in going there and getting a table or getting a booth, we can forward your artwork to the gal that runs it, and then she will then set you up with a table. You can come there and sit up and show your own work there. But we've got, going back to volume 8 or so, we've got winners there now with tables that are just, at this point now, they're doing really, really well and continue to do well.
I'd love to. Yeah. I think give me like a year or two to like make a whole new portfolio. Now that I've got the new skills, I'm going to get everything out there, have it all ready, and then we can start setting up a booth. That would be so awesome. I'd love to. Yeah,
it's really good. And we had we did our first Writers and Illustrators of the Future dinner at Dragon Con. It was so much fun. We did the after dinner photo on the steps of the restaurant there, and there was a lot of us at that dinner. But it was great seeing so many people over so many volumes, and it's going to grow, which is great. We'll just keep that in as an institution now.
It's awesome.
I'll just learn better how to tell people how to work out their costs for the dinner, because after it was all said and done, and I paid it, and then everybody chipped in what they thought was their right portion, and I had that, and I paid another $100 on top of that to cover everything.
I was not there.
What's that?
I was not in that number.
No,
I was there at Dragon Con with you, but I couldn't make the dinner.
Yeah, no, you went to another event you couldn't get out of, or that you had set up with someone else.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun though, with so many people there.
They're missing out. It's a tax write-off. They missed out on a tax write-off.
Exactly. So now, I know that Nicole does different events and conventions. Do you find that it helps you, Nicole, with going to these things here to increase your fan base and people that want to know more about you?
Honestly, I've only just started doing that. Like I've always gone to conventions as a
fan.
And I am very much still a fan. So that's why when we went to Dragon Con, I wanted to be half a fan and a little bit of an author. But yeah, definitely what I found mostly is not even just standing at a booth. It's when I'm out interacting with people and we have a common interest. So I was in line for T. Kingfisher, to meet her and to get some books signed. And all the people around me, we all just started talking books because that's what you do, right? And then I sold 3 books, just not even selling, not pitching, because I'm terrible at that, but just in conversation and being friendly.
Yeah.
So,
well, evidently you proved that wrong just from what you just said there. That's.
I'm not a sales, some people are so good with the pitch and I am not. I'm like, do you like to read?
Well, that's
and then we can just talk books. And if you don't like mine, that's okay. I'm fine with that. We can go in with someone else.
I mean, between Emily and Sarah and the other people that sell it at our booth, we sold like 800 books there at Dragon Con. But that's how we started. Like, do you like to read? Or what do you like to read? And you find out, then you just show, because if they like to read, they like to read. So you just show what you've got, and if it fits with what they like, then they're going to get it.
Yeah.
It's not any harder than that. When you try, you can't collapse that into the used car salesman, the crush sell.
Yeah.
That's just, you find that, but those guys don't necessarily do very well, and they don't last very long. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I don't do well with the hard pitch either. Like, I am just one of those people who kind of shuts down and kind of scurries away, like too much human interaction. It's like too much.
Yeah. And then Zaine, are you so busy right now? You don't need to do that type of stuff, going out to show your stuff and meet people, because you've got so much stuff coming your way right now? Is that?
Yeah. For now, I haven't really been going out to conventions and stuff because I've been working for companies, luckily. So contracts last from anywhere from like 2 months to 9 months. So I have these big, long contracts, and in between, I'll talk to like another company to set up another contract. So it's just contract on contract on contract, and I just keep going off of those. Plus, I also work with an agency now, and they bring me some work too. So I got a lot on my plate right now. So as much as I love conventions and I love just meeting people, I just go for fun. But I don't know if I would go to try to make a fan base quite yet. I think once I get like later in my career and I've like kind of settled down with all the company stuff and I've kind of earned all my marks, I'm going to start like really trying to push my brand as an artist and see if I can help other artists kind of make their way up, because just breaking in is a nightmare. So if I could give back to the community, that's what I would like to do in the future.
That'd be cool. Because Larry Elmore is funny like that too, because he's just kind of like, I don't know why anybody wants to talk to me. I don't know. Nobody wants. I got nothing good to say to anybody. He just goes on. And everybody's just like,
Larry's my hero, man.
He's like a lot of people's hero.
He can talk circles around me. It's
just when he did, his stuff that he did and his history of what he's done as an artist, he's all over the place. But he's just, with Dungeons and Dragons, how he got into that, and then into he also did all the art for Dragonlance. It's just amazing, and it's just it was really funny when he had all of his sketches and all of his all the little, before he did his final art, he had all of his sketches and stuff. He just had them in boxes in the garage. He was going to throw them away, and his friend or agent, whoever, said, "Don't do that. Just let me see what I can do with them." So he started posting on eBay, and he's selling these things for like $10,000, $20,000 a piece. He said, "What? That's more than I got in the final thing there, And he had no idea how much people revered him as an artist.
He didn't.
He did. It's funny, but then still trying to get him out. Nobody wants to hear me. He's got that drawl that he does and self-effacing type thing. But he's, he used to he stopped doing it, but he would attend Dragon Con regularly, and I was giving him to chase up about 10 years or so ago, and so I went to see him. I said, "Hey, Larry," and he tells the story from his perspective too. Like, this guy just comes up to me and just starts talking about my stuff. "Do you want to, be a judge for a contest?" "I don't know about judging. I don't have anything to judge." So I'll leave you some books here. And so I left him some books there, and he says, "Well, it sounds kind of good." And then he kept on calling me. He's just telling the story, So finally, okay, I'll come out once. I'll give it a shot. So he came out, he said, and then he realized how much fun it was. He had no idea. So, but he's just so funny how he does his stuff there. And he used to do stuff on commission. And now he says, I'm done doing commission work. I want to write. I want to paint for myself.
Yep.
I've been doing that for 60 years, whatever. So now, or 50 years, whatever it was. So I'm going to just paint for myself now. And
Just
so,
well, anytime he's on, all you got to do is look at the studio behind him. It's covered in paintings everywhere.
yeah,
They're everywhere. And they're not like half works. They all look like they're completed. I'm like, Larry, what you got back there? Oh, I ain't finished that yet. I can't show you. Come on, Larry. Show me so loud. He's like, no, Joe, no. I tell you what. So you get a little Tennessee whiskey. Him and I and Tom were sitting at the bar one night. I don't know. We were just shooting shots at some kind of Tennessee whiskey. I don't even know what it was. All I know is I picked up the tab. It was like $400. So anyway, he got to telling us stuff. I could have sat there all night and listened to him. I was just like, Jesus, man. He's got some really good stories.
yeah.
About a lot of different things too. And he always ties them all back into art though eventually. Somewhere along the line it's going to tie back into some art somewhere. But he was telling me about his Harley one time, and he's telling me about his truck. And I love talking to the guys. I also like talking to Scott too. He's a lot of fun to talk to. Orson's is a guy. He's got some good stories in him too. So
Yeah.
just stay
So
away.
now, what's your so Zaine, now, so you got 12 months in a year. How many of those months are you actively working, or do you take time for like just chilling?
I'm pretty much actively working every day, even on weekends. But it is what it is. I like doing it, so it's not a big deal. Every once in a while, I'll take some time off. So I guess, yeah, there is some not working time. I'll take time off to go to a festival, like a music festival or something with friends, or go on like a painting retreat with friends where we'll go. I guess that's kind of working too, but it's not really work. You're seeing the world and doing some painting in a different medium. So we'll go to like different states and stuff and do that. But yeah, I'd make sure to make space for myself, but I don't need a whole lot of space. Not yet.
Yeah. Are you still with your girlfriend?
Yeah, we've been together for our anniversary was actually just 2 days ago, and we've been together for 7 years now.
Wow,
That's
congratulations.
good,
That's
The
great.
anniversary.
Yeah, time to get married soon.
Yeah, no, I just had one on the October 23rd was my 43rd anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Happy anniversary.
Congrats.
Yes. I've been married long and he's been alive, man.
Yeah, almost twice as long as I've been alive.
That's what I'm saying. It's been a long time.
So Zaine, you're like what, 29?
No, I'm 26 now. I just turned
Yeah,
26. My birthday was on the 26th. It was my golden birthday.
Wow. And then Nicole, you're like 27 or 28. I think.
Zaine is the same age as my son.
Yeah.
Well, Nicole will be forever beautiful, so that's fine. We'll leave it with
Jesus,
that.
man. I think my son makes 40 this year, 39 or 40. Oh, shit. I don't even want to think about that, man. Let's move on to we need to change topics now. I think it's not
So Nicole,
no.
so what are your writing habits? How do you fit in with everything that you do to fit in your writing as well?
Oh my gosh.
you
This is
still
not
a nurse?
healthy.
You still
Can
do
I
the
just
nurse
preface this? My methods are not healthy and I do not recommend them for mental well-being. Okay. So my method is to literally get obsessive and do nothing else for weeks on end until the project is done. And then I just like crash for a while. And then I don't write for a few weeks until something else comes along or I feel it, Yeah. So I crashed. I had that big crash after doing this developmental edit, which was essentially doing an entire book rewrite. So I wrote 100,000 words in 3 months. So I crashed after that. And then I started writing a couple short stories just because I felt the urge to. And then I'm working on these other 2 projects until I get this next developmental edits back. Don't recommend that.
Yeah.
So
now you were or are a nurse?
I'm an occupational therapist.
Okay, good.
At a
Do you
big-
still do that? Do you still do
Oh,
that
yeah.
as well?
I work weekends, so I had to kind of rush home to get here for this because I only work weekends, which is really nice. But the other side of that is I'm the only OT for the entire acute. It's a big trauma hospital, so I'm the only one for the building for the weekends. But I love it because I get to be in the ICUs and I get to be very hands-on, and I'm still learning.
You know, I've threatened to kill a few physical therapists over the years. I'll just tell you ahead of time.
I'm the occupational therapist, so people, I get to be the nice one.
Yes.
They tend to
Yeah.
like us better.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a whole different, yeah. It's I don't know. It's always strange. Kirby, yeah. Well, you want to be an author? Talk to John. John's going to be the best author on the planet soon. No, he's going to write a book like I'm going to write a book. Yes. So, because some people can write, some people can read really well, some people can do art really well. Everybody has their place on the planet, what they like to do. John, like me, just likes to be into a lot of different things at the same time. Hey, life is only this long, people. You gotta stay busy while you're here. It's you got when you cross over, they say, "Hey, were you fulfilled? Were you busy?" Oh, hell yeah, I was, man. Can I have a couple like decades rest now, and then send me back? It'll be more like that. No, I've tried writing. It's writing or look. You know, there's a running joke amongst all of us at Writers Future now. John and I can't even draw a stick man. So you know, we have nothing but respect for illustrators and for authors too. I love to read, but I've tried writing a few times. There's a lot of stuff I need to write for one of the organizations I work for, but I don't know. It always comes out sounding like jibber jabber to me.
That's the first draft.
First.
That's what
Like
editing is
300
for.
probably.
Like, I'm not intimidated about writing, other than the fact that it's a time thing because I've got so many things happening. But art, I have nothing but just like such respect for somebody like Zaine and, you know, these established artists. Like, I can't, you know, thinking like art and thinking like, you know, it's like backwards. You know, you're like, for me, I went like, if I do a face, okay, here's my nose. It's like it's totally wrong way. It's like, you know, I do the whole thing wrong way out, and so it looks like a total piece of crap, and I can never get past that, you know. And so when I see somebody that can sit down and just on the live model sketches that you do at the Illustrator workshop, I'm just like, my gosh, how these guys can do? They just sit in there sketching. All of a sudden, it's like, there it is. There's the people that they're sketching. You got the 3 minute, the 5 minute, 10 minute, and 20 minute where you can do these things here. And I'm just like totally amazed at your ability to do that and see and be able to create that. You know, and so I look at others that, you know, we had one winner once, and it only happened once, who didn't come to that session. He said, well, that's not my process. I learned to find out that their process was prompts. And so it was when I see this and go like, wow, what talent and what it takes to be able to do that. It's so far removed from a computer creating something. It's like you need to see it to really realize that it's a whole different universe. You know, somebody that just puts some prompts in and gets the computer to come out with something versus, and I see people saying, isn't this amazing? Look at this cover. And I kind of go, whatever. You know, there's just, it's flat. There's no life to it. It's like, you know, and then you see something that's actually been created by somebody and you actually see the life there. And I mean, Echo can get into, says, yeah, you can see when it's oil, you can see the brush strokes. You can see the detail that a brush can actually do that a computer can't do. Now, it's not to say that I won't be able to do that to emulate that at some point down the road, but still, it's not creating art. You know, at no point will the computer get to the point of creating until they figured out how to upload somebody's essence into a computer, and we're definitely not there. You know, science fiction's there. Maybe Nicole's there with her science fiction, but science is definitely not there. So with Zaine, so how far in the future? Because we have a lot of people that are listening to this that are artists or aspiring artists and aspiring writers. So in terms of, you know, like what you did to get yourself, you know, obviously you mastered art or you got to a certain level, you know, that you felt that you were comfortable with like selling your services. But how has your skill level changed since graduating the Ringling, and it's since attending the workshop week. How's your skill level improved versus how that affects your being able to get work?
Yeah, when you're in the industry, you improve exponentially. Like out of school, I thought that was kind of like my cap. I was like, I know I'm gonna get better, but it's gonna be kind of slow. But when I got my first job at my first studio job at Picture Plane, it was one of like the best learning experiences of my life. My art directors were fantastic, and I improved like 9 or 10 degrees up, like huge improvements, just constant, like huge improvements because of deadlines, because of having feedback from somebody else in a professional setting. It's been able to make me make like leaps and bounds. So as soon as you're out of school and as soon as you start working, especially if you're at a studio, your degree for improvement is like massive. There's so much for you to learn. And I'm still learning. Every new job is another like massive improvement because you're learning new like skills every time. Every project has different requirements, and they require you to learn different things and build different skills, and they just round you out as an artist.
Yeah, I'll be learning until they put me in my grave. So that's it.
Mhm.
I don't think it's going to ever stop. Besides, I got this weird curiosity about every damn thing. Yeah, it just, but I I don't want to be dumb. I just like to learn, I think is what it really is. But, anytime you're always going to want to learn about your professions, and there's always going to be things in your life you want to learn about. But in general, I just see something I want to learn about. It drives a lot of my friends crazy, drives my wife crazy sometimes. Actually, what used to really drive her crazy is before I sold my construction company, I couldn't go in anywhere. I didn't notice everything. She's like, stop it. just yeah, that floor wasn't put in right, baby. She's like, Joe, just eat the $500,000 dinner we're eating tonight. Don't worry about it. It was hard. I gotta say, it was hard. It's one of those things. And now that I guess retired's a bad word. I can't actually say I'm retired because I still working probably 70 hours a week, but I'm just not working that 100 I was before. I guess is the difference. I don't know. I like being busy, and like I said, there's always something to learn. And then on this network, there's so many topics on here that you're always finding out something constantly new every day. Some of it's kind of creepy and scary, and some of it's exhilarating, and some of it's just, main world political stuff or things like that. But still, you got to learn. And, and there comes a point when you become, you move up where you started out as an apprentice, and then you moved along. And then before long, you're sitting around going, shit, why are they asking me how to tell people how to do stuff? Wait, there's something wrong with this picture, man. Let's go back. But it does happen fast. It really does. It does. Sometimes there'll be, there's always going to be spots in there where things kind of feel like it's standing still sometimes. Usually when you're waiting on something or waiting for that next step, you'll get that. Or if you just need that break sometimes, because sometimes it is good to take a break. Yeah. I used to make myself go on a vacation usually about every 4 years. I'd take 2 months off and go on vacation if I could, if life was permitting and letting me go. It's I don't know. It's just how it was, though. So y'all could look like you're happy, though. I mean, you're happy in what you do. That's so much. Makes the world so much nicer right off the bat that you're happy in what you do. Because I know a lot of people, and I don't, are just miserable in what they do. I'm not, but I know a lot of people are. John looks pretty happy. Most of the time I see him, he's smiling. Every now and then he looks like he wants to slap somebody, but most of the time he's smiling. So, yeah, it's rare, though, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people, and a lot of people are just miserable and always tell them the same thing. We'll go find something else to do. Oh, yeah. I can't. No, yeah, you can. No matter even how old you are. A good friend of mine the other day, he just made 68. And he had been retired. He decided he wanted to go back to work. So he went and got him a job as a floor manager for one of the casinos. And this dude used to run a corporate company. He knows jack about casinos. And he's having a ball. Every time I talk to him, he's like kidding. He's like, oh, God, I love this. I wish I'd have done this when I was young. This is just so much fun. I'm like, whatever. I'm sure he's not making the kind of money he used to, but he does seem to be happy. So, I mean, that's good. It's got a lot to be said to be, I'll settle for less if I can be happy.
Yeah. Now, it is important to be happy with what you do, but you're not always going to be happy while you're doing it.
No, you're not.
There's suffering, and suffering is important. It's a part of the process.
It's part of the process. It's
For
definitely
sure.
part of the process.
So Nicole, when you're writing your books there, because you've got it, so like if you've actually sold it to a publisher, then you've got a deadline. You need to get it in by a certain time, whatever they're asking for. So how do you deal with that?
Up until this year, it wasn't a
binge?
problem. Huh?
Is that your binge?
Yeah, that is part of it. Yeah. So this year was a little different because normally I get things in before the deadline because like I said, I get obsessive. And if I have a goal, it's like it's a little worse, So if I have a timeline, then I'm going to meet the goal no matter what, because I'm very goal oriented, obviously. So this year was the second book was the first time I had to be like, hey, you know what? I've rethought everything and I need to try this other part again. And they were like, that's fine. So what I ended up doing, this is how bad I am, you guys. This is awful. But they love me for it, instead of just sending them one draft, I sent them 2 drafts with 2 different endings. So they have the same book. So like the last third of the book is very different. And I'm like, I can do it. I can work with either. Pick one. So yeah.
That's cool. Companies like that.
Again, do not recommend. I could have used that energy probably a little bit better, but I don't know which draft they picked. I'm just waiting to get it back.
With the draft they didn't pick, would that give you then a volume 3? Would that be material for a third volume then?
It'll probably take some of those elements and drag them into the third book. Yeah.
Yeah. Because on the we just uploaded 3 new videos on the online writing workshop on writersofthefuture.com.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And one was Kevin Anderson, one was Rob Sawyer, and one was Nettie Okorafor. And Nettie talked about a book that she wrote and her editing process, and her editor came back and said, this isn't, and she was saying, this isn't, and they couldn't figure it out. And then she realized it was really 2 books, and so it turned into this 100, however many thousand word book. It was actually 2 books, so she split it and created 2 books with it in that sequence. So I was just curious if that falls into that same type of category when you give yourself a different ending. The last third of a book, that could be a piece of another book or another sequence of it.
Yeah, I will take part of that last third of the book and incorporate it into book 3.
Yeah.
So I'm like, either one she picks, I can work with it.
You're okay. Good. You're good. I'm good. Okay, good. So in terms of tips and suggestions for aspiring artists, Zaine, what do you recommend for somebody to, like, you went to Ringling, which is a very prestigious art school, and so some people don't have the resources or wherewithal to do that, and so they're up to doing the YouTube and just kind of like self-teach themselves. But for you, what are some of the real essential things that is, from your perspective, to really make it as an artist, are basics that you've got to have in order to be able to be successful as an artist?
I think one of the most important things is to join a community. Have people around you who are artists, people who are working in industry, people who want to work in industry. Just have a lot of voices around you.
Yeah.
There are a lot of servers you can join, people you can talk to. There are mentorships that will let you in for free, where you can just talk to art directors. You can talk to people that are in industry. I've joined a lot of communities myself. Peter Moorbacher, he's a famous illustrator. He's got a community that you can feel free to join anytime. Timothy Mathon, I'm not French, so I can't say his name correctly. The Art Nest, fantastic community. They'll let you in for free. There's tons of art directors. Tim himself, he's an art director at Ubisoft, or was an art director at Ubisoft. Join a community, have people that will give you different perspectives, people that can give you critique on your work, because it's going to hurt getting critique from these people because they have a lot of things to say, but they're very important. And if you can take it in stride, it's going to make you so much better, and it's going to make you so employable. And if they like you and you take the critique well and you show that you care, they could even get you a job.
Wow. Yeah, just you mentioned French. I just the podcast that just went live today is The Children of Moebius. I don't know if you ever heard of him. You mentioned French.
Yeah, one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, so he was a founding Illustrators that feature judge, and
Really?
until he passed, he had cancer, and so he passed in the early 2000s. But both of his children, they were at Frankfurt Book Fair, so I introduced myself and we chatted, and I got a picture because he did an illustration for one of our winners in Volume 4, Rise of the Future Volume 4, and so we talked about it. They were just amazing kids. They had great stories to tell about their dad, but I didn't know that he was one of the founders of Heavy Metal magazine, and so many of the comic art style was he created. And then you've got like his creative work went into the movie Willow and into various horror movies, and it's just amazing the number of credits he's got from the big Hollywood producers, what he did to contribute to art and illustration and design. It's just amazing. I had no idea, but talking to his kids are just amazing. But that's the podcast that's currently live right now. You might enjoy listening to it. They're both two just lovely kids.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I definitely want to hear more about him because he's such a fantastic illustrator. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, he really he set the standard for European comic art at the time.
Yeah.
With his like super fine line work and hyper detail, the really simple colors that stick out. Like he was revolutionary at the time, and he still is.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, so it was a great opportunity to chat with him. So I said that podcast just went live, and then for yourself, Nicole, what do you recommend for someone that wants to get into writing? Like what are some of the basics that are important for someone to address? Because Zaine said a community, and what about yourself?
I would definitely say community as well. And you have to get comfortable putting yourself out there. I know a lot of new writers are terrified to have anyone else read their work. And then when they get some feedback, they can take it very personally and not realize it's not them. It's just like, hey, you try this, have you thought about doing it this way? So definitely community. I agree with that 100%, of people you trust who are there, fellow writers who are at different levels of success, right? You want somebody who's kind of at your level, somebody who's a little bit higher up the ladder or has had a little more success to actually kind of give you a well-rounded view. Also taking classes, because I didn't come back to writing until 7 years ago, I think. 6 years ago, actually, 2019. So that's when I started writing again, and I didn't know anything about writing. So I ended up, that's how I found Writers of the Future, is I wrote 3/4 of a novel, and it was absolutely horrible. And I realized I needed to learn how to do this. And then I emailed Dave Farland and just cold emailed him because I didn't know better. And he was kind enough to email me back. And then you guys uploaded the original courses.
Yeah.
And so I took those, and those really helped. And then, I would take the free classes, any free classes you can. The Writers of the Future has 6 now? You guys have 6 classes up?
Yeah, well, it's one long one. It's got 16 videos in there, but it's the online writing workshop. Yeah, it's got 16 videos now, and then the 10 essays from L. Ron Hubbard. But it's free. You can go at your own pace. You can do it as many times as you want to. Yeah. Yeah, and then there's also tons of free classes on YouTube. Like I follow Brandon Sanderson's classes because he puts all of his classes free online, which is amazing. His college classes. Yeah. So, find the classes, get your work out there, have somebody you trust read it, and listen to their feedback. Whether or not it's right for your story, you have to kind of suss that out on your own. But because not all of that feedback is correct for your voice or what you're trying to say. Were you ever part of the Writers of the Future forum?
Oh yeah, big time. That's where I started meeting people. That's where because I joined the forum, I think. So I submitted the first time in a December, and then I joined the forum maybe a month or 2 later, and I started kind of connecting a little bit. I tend to haunt, I kind of
which is totally fine.
Around,
people do that, yeah.
See what's going on. I'm a slow to warm up naturally kind of person. Like I'm not a dive into the deep end. I got to kind of get comfortable. So it took a while before I actually started interacting there. And then I started doing critique exchanges and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And that was very helpful.
Yeah. And so what she's talking about, everybody listening here, is writersthatteaches.com. If you navigate on the left side of the page, there's one called the Writer Forum. You can go there. You can, like Nicole likes to hunt, others like to lurk. People just want to see what's happening before they join, which you're totally able to do. And we just recently started beefing up the Illustrator side too. We've had Echo in there, and we had someone else recently go in there, and then we're about ready to have another one that's going to be set up to go in there to create an Ask Me Anything on there, so we can just start building up the Illustrator side of the forum as well. It's one of the best science fiction forum 3 or 4 years in a row now, so it's a good thing. And it's just got one basic rule, just no dissing anybody, and if you do, you're given a warning. You do it second time, you're banned. You're not just kicked off, you're banned. It's just that no need to have somebody that's going to give you grief. If you want somebody to give you grief, just go to social media. That's fine. Oh yeah. So Zaine, do you do much on social media?
No, not at all. Yeah, pretty much I keep to myself. I like to keep all that misery out for now. I mean, once I'm trying to build a brand, I definitely need to. But at the moment, being like a company man, I'm okay with just sticking. My only social media is my email, pretty much, that I'm just sending to.
When you work,
ArtStation, was that the link you said was at ArtStation?
Oh yeah, it's an ArtStation link. That's where I just post my portfolio and anything that I think is cool. Like if I make any cool personal work, I'll probably put something on there in its own tab.
Yeah, what's it called again? 'Cause I need to send this to Craig Elliott. So what's it called again?
That would be Zaine L, Zainel, all one word.
Yeah.
.artstation.com. And I have it in the private chat as well if you want to take a look at it. And if we get in contact, Craig and I'll send him my client work, which is password protected and everything. And I can show him some of the stuff that I've worked on for AAA clients and stuff.
Okay, great. Yeah, because it's there we go. Yeah, because I want to get introduce you to him because your work is amazing, and Craig is just amazing too.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I love Craig's work. I was actually there for one of his workshops.
Really?
Yeah. At the during our year, except he was doing it over Zoom.
Yeah.
At the time, because it was just at the end of COVID, or was it?
Yeah,
just about at the end of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had problems with infections, and so he just stayed clear of all that. So he was just he's just an amazing artist, and like he did great with our last cover, volume 41. But he does such amazing work.
Yeah.
So now, Nicole, so next year, are you going to Superstars again?
I am not. I'm not. This will be my first year missing Superstars in 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be there this year. I was going to do. Pardon?
Where are you going to go?
I was thinking of doing Life, the Universe, and Everything in Salt Lake City, which is the following weekend.
Yeah, I'll be there.
So I'm still that's on the table. I've got a lot of family stuff going on that I'm trying to deal with, like aging parents and some heart surgeries to deal with post-op. So once those kind of get settled, I'll know a little bit more of my schedule.
Yeah, Emily was invited to be to give the keynote address at the LTUE this year. So
oh wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, so she'll be there to do that. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. I will be at the Imaginarium. I'm a panelist and a speaker at the Imaginarium in Louisville next summer.
Well, that's
so
exciting.
I finally bit the bullet and applied to be a panelist somewhere. That feels like it's a lot of pressure, but we'll see.
That's good practice.
Congratulations to you.
Thanks.
It's good practice for talking to people.
It is. Yeah. I just don't, the thought of sitting like up on a stage somewhere and having to talk to people is like nerve-wracking.
Yeah, but you have no problem right now
Comfort
because
of
you're
my
talking.
home.
Yeah, like right now, you're talking to 4 million people right now, and you don't have a problem with
Thanks
that.
for that, John. Thanks. That's great.
It's. But I'll tell you a little secret you can do. If you feel yourself getting nervous, I usually find 3 people in the audience, one on each side and one in the middle. That way it keeps you moving back and forth. But if you find a person to concentrate on and you fix on something on the person, you won't think about what's going on in the audience. It'll keep your brain occupied while you're talking, so you don't have to do it. Because one of the problems, especially with people who do this, usually most people are going to get up on stage and talk. The way their brains work is it's usually faster than the average person. So you can allow yourself a little leeway to just fixate on something. Doesn't matter what it is. Oh, by the way, it's a good way to pass a polygraph too, by the way. If you find a dot on the wall and you fixate on a dot and that's all you think about doing the dot is the whole time doing the polygraph and just answer yes and no, your heart will never go. It'll just go. I used to do this. That's how I know. But no, it really works. When I first started lecturing, it used to make me nervous. Even though on a Wednesday night I was talking to 1 million people, I got in front of 200. It was making me nervous. So it's I learned from matter of fact from another old speaker. He said, "Let me show you," and sure enough, it works perfect. And it can be any dumb thing you can pair glasses, something on a person's shirt. It doesn't even matter. But your brain is looking for that when you move from person to person to person while you're talking. Your brain's looking for that, so it's not looking for all the other mess that might be going on around you. It allows you to concentrate on what you're saying without actually thinking about it. It's a really nice way of doing it. And Jesse, it's true for anybody who speaks long period. You should always have a glass of something cold and something hot. It's only for people who are going to be speaking for a long time. It keeps your vocal cords nice and solid. They won't get all hard on you. But no, it's an easy way to do it. It just really keeps your brain from thinking about other stuff. Is what it does. Because authors especially, they're probably worse than illustrators are, because illustrators tend to focus on one thing. Authors are trying to think so far ahead for their story. It's one of those things. So your brain's always looking for something. Most of the illustrators I meet, they're already got a good idea of what directions they're going. Authors, I find, they have a good idea what they're going, but once they sit down and start writing, their brain just kind of leaps out ahead of them and starts looking for other directions it could be moving in. So it's a very weird thing. So I do notice, especially authors tend to be more extroverted after they've been in the field a while. Illustrators, well, actually, that's kind of weird, because any interview I've done with any author at Writers of the Future has never been less than an hour and 20 minutes. Some have gone as long as 3. The longest interview I've got with an illustrator at Writers of the Future is 35 minutes. So that's just something right there. But now when they get older, that flip-flops. When they get older, the authors become inverted and the illustrators become extroverted, because like Tom and Echo and all them shit, you can't even shut them up once you get them talking. It's they got a lot. I'm not being rude. They're both friends of mine. They got a lot of information in their head. So once you can go up, but the illustrators, the authors seem to go the other. It's just strange to watch. It's just, I wouldn't have noticed it, but since I do this for a living, I was like, wait, there's something not right with this. It's just backwards. But hey, it works out good for everybody involved. So, but you got to remember, you're the one promoting yourself. You always got to be thinking about promoting yourself. And but someone like Jesse and them and Christopher and all of them, they don't promote themselves because they got jobs with gaming companies and they're very happy with what they do. So, Jesse's been with this company for 6 years now. So he gets 1 week of vacation for every year he's been there. So now he gets 6 weeks a year off, all paid vacations. And they give him all kind of other bonuses. And they even give him, if the game does more than expected, they even give him a bonus off the top of the game. I was like, wow.
That's nice.
And there was a couple of game companies that have moved down south to what they call, what do they call it? Silicon Bayou. And they're going, because it's cheaper, it's the labor's cheaper than being out west in California. Silicon Valley, you're going to have to hire somebody around $200,000 Down in the deep south, you can probably get the same person for 100, 120 because it's just that much difference. See, where I live right now, I live in a state that's 12% below the cost of living nationwide. John lives in a state that's 24%. So from there to here, it's a 36% difference in pricing. 36%. And I live on the water, on the Gulf of America, out of my front yard. And it's still a 36% pricing difference. It's insane. It's insane. So yeah, it allows them to bring people in down here, and these people get more bang out of their buck, I guess is what it really comes to. But anyways, a lot of them out there. They're always looking. I mean, I always hear them bitching. Carly Carlin Westonhouse the other day was just telling me, he said, finding good authors and finding good illustrators like pulling teeth. He said half the people come to him want to use AI. He said we already use AI. He said we're not using it for development. We're using it to speed it. Both these gamers I know are doing the same thing. They're using illustrators and authors and programmers to build their games, and then they're using AI. Instead of taking another 2 years of development, the AI does once they've got what they want, they turn it over to AI, and AI does a game in like 6 months instead of 18 months. So it allows the game company to get them out faster and at a better price, which allows everybody to make more money. And but yeah, they like that. They both keep a big stable of authors and illustrators, both up there. They're always looking for new concepts. They're always looking for new kind of games. They're always looking for something. I was having dinner with both of them not that long ago, and they're like, "Hey, Joe, you guys are developing games?" I said, "No." "Come on, you used to be a gamer." I said, "Practice." The usable word here is used to be a gamer. I said, "I don't keep up anymore. I don't know who's doing what." I was like, but they're constantly. And there's so much money to be made in that field. It really is. But it doesn't matter where you are. I mean, I'm probably sure any of the 6 or 7 major places they have a Silicon Valley set up, you could probably get a really good job. Zaine seems to be going that way. Nick, you seem to just like to take it easy, write your book, go crazy for a couple of weeks, and then relax for a little while, go on to the next thing. There's nothing wrong with that either. I know quite a few writers. I know a couple of illustrators that do it that way. And then I also know what I like to call 9 to 5 illustrators and writers, where they get up in the morning, get a cup of coffee, go into their studio, come out at lunch, go back to their studio, come out at 5, they're done. Nick Redfern is one of them. He's got 144 books to his credit. And that's how he writes, 9 to 5. And he writes about everything. You name it, he's written a book about it. It cracks me up. That's I like having one of guests because he can talk about anything. I mean, it doesn't matter. He's insane. But I know we're going to get out of here in a few minutes. But anybody want to plug anything before we go? Anything y'all got to let people know where you're at? Or
well, Nicole, you got your book you need to plug.
Oh yeah, plug away, man.
So
The
The Malice of Moons and Mages is book 1 of the Broken Bonds of Magic series. It's available pretty much anywhere books are sold. So Amazon, anywhere actually, Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, that book needs to be right there.
Bookstore, huh?
That book needs to be right there. See how we get your book standing up there? I tell authors all the time, they send them to me. What we do is we put them up there from whatever the time they send them to us is until Christmas. But see, now that we're into November, any books we get now will probably won't get given away until next Christmas.
Yeah,
they'll get shown because they'll be up there with all the other books that are getting given away. So some of them will be up there for a full year sitting up there. And I mean, on any given week, I host 4 shows a week with a combined audience. It got to be, let's see, 3, 9, 17, 18 million people between them all. So that's why I tell people. And we got a new art shelf. I can't show you right now because I got my other camera there, but we've got a new artist shelf, and actually 2, where we just display artwork that people send us. And that's also stuff we give away at the end of the year. Unless it's something really nice, then it's going on one of my walls. It's going to be there for life. I do believe in advertisement for life. It's fun. And the best part about all these things is these archives will be up for God knows how many years. I mean, we've got archives going back 30 years now. So, and everything that's in them, commercials, promos, videos, pictures, all that stuff's still there 30 years later. So that just tells you it's like lifetime advertisement. That, and we also tell people, like, see how we did Zaine's website earlier. We tell people all the time. I did it when Tom Wood was on. I was like, well, look, just use it. I said, you just put your whole entire website up here talked about every piece of art you had. It's a great way to introduce stuff to people.
Yeah.
You know, and to say, here you go, take it, listen, read. Yeah, it's good stuff, and it's even allowed to be edited because we leave it up in its whole for anybody who wants to use. Well, I shouldn't say anybody, but anybody affiliated with Writers of the Future, or the person who owns the, like y'all would be partly y'all's and John's and ours. So outside of that, they'd have to have permission to use it. But yeah. Other than that, doesn't matter. But John, you got anything? Because I know we got to get out of here in a second.
No, I'm just if you're not familiar with it, go to writersofthefuture.com and find out how to enter the writer contest and illustrator contest. It's free to enter, and these are both winners that are doing very well in life going on, and it's a lot of people. This year, volume 42, we break 1,000. So 1,000 people published in Writers of the Future this coming year. So 42 is will be a great year. Also, 42 is very significant because that's the answer to the life, the universe, and everything.
Exactly.
So it works out good. It's been so great seeing both of you again.
Yeah,
so glad you're able to make it,
great.
Zaine. And you're always great to see, Nicole. So that's great.
Same, John. It's always good to see you.
Yes. Well, see that the first night I met Zaine was up in the hotel room. I said, man, this guy's going to be a hustler, man. Tom tells me the next day, he goes, I'm gonna give him some work. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. Like, man, this guy is a hustler, man. I like this guy right off the bat. Hey, that's what the world's there for, to go out and get. But we got to get out of here. So I want to thank both of y'all for being on tonight. John, I'll talk to you in a second. Ladies and gents, look, guys and girls, enjoy the show, have some fun. I hope everyone who went to Halloween last night had a safe and fun Halloween. I know a lot of y'all are hungover today because I got lots of letters from friends of mine this morning, like stuff like, F you and things like that, just for random reasons. No real reason, just because they're probably still hungover, will be for the next couple of days. But we will be coming up on a chat in a little while, guys. So there's quite a few topics in the chat tonight that have been requested. And I do think a few people are going to come on and tell some Halloween stories. I'm not talking about ghostly stories. I'm talking about what they did last night. I can only imagine where that's going to end up going. But anyway, I'm going by and check it out. Just a couple of topics. Denise, we don't really do much news in the chat. We will, if for some reason, something news on the flip side, we didn't get finished on something last night and it's important. But other than that, no, the chat's just an open-ended, whatever you want to talk about. There's no telling. That's why we always say it's for the insane. It's an in show for the insane people. It's audience driven. Whatever topics you hear us talking about is because somebody is texting us or somebody's emailing us, or groups of people are texting us, email. Anyway it goes. That's why you hear us talking. But anyway, on that note, we got to get out of here. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and the Arthur's Quill. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Of course, if you do have a moan, groan, bitch, or gripe, you can always write to Michelle DeRoche. She will really appreciate your letter, and I'm sure she will send you a lovely, kind, friendly letter back. Goodbye.